Welcome to the AIB 20-minute training. We do these once a month to be able to bring you phenomenal individuals that have expertise in areas that can help you with your business. And so we are excited to have Giselle with us today talking about social media, something that I know people want to know about. And so we're going to launch a short poll. You'll see the poll come up on your screen. If you can answer those poll questions for us while I give you a little bit of information about our guest for today. Giselle is your personal branding coach. Compassionately, she answers the pain points of how concerning building influence and community across social platforms. It's about extracting your magic, creating a purpose-driven brand, and sharing where your core customers can feel relief knowing you exist. Her unique perspective and talents have been featured in Yahoo Finance, Thrive Global, and BuzzFeed. And we have Giselle here with us today, and she has phenomenal information. I know that I've shared with several people that whenever I need insight information, how to make sure that I am doing the right thing on social media, I always get incredible information from Giselle. So thank you very much for being here with us today, Giselle.
Aisha, thank you so much for having me. I am so excited to be here with you and all of your guests. Hi, Ashley. So I want to just start because we don't have a lot of time, and I'm going to try to give you as much information. So if I vomit information all over you, I want you to know that you can DM me at the Branding Professor any questions you have so that I can help you implement. Most important thing, if you implement, that means you learn the skill and you get better, and then you start to build your influence. So let's get started. First and foremost, I want you to know that wherever you are in the space that you are right. You are where you need to be. And the only way to go is to go up, to get better. And that is why you're here. So the overthinking of perfection, the overthinking of rejection, the fear of rejection, the fear of judgment, let it go. Because you're going to learn in the 5 C's to social media success, specifically for lives, that you are in complete control. Okay. And that the most important thing is that one person gets value from what you are sharing. So when you show up and you share and you ask yourself, will this help one person? Will this help? Will this make someone think, be happy, elevate, receive information in a way that they will get better at a skill? Will this literally help someone? Period. And if the answer is yes, it could be the best sale that you just found. That's going to help somebody, right? So I just want you to ask yourself that, and that is good enough. Okay, so let's dive into the 5 C's to social media success. The first C, if you do not have one of these C's, you are not diving into being able to grow the influence and the business that you absolutely have control in doing. Okay? You have complete control of building the most amazing social media accounts. Okay? First C is courage. Have the courage to show up vulnerably, which means messy, gritty, wrong, just do it when you are leading from a space of value. Okay, I can get super deep in here, but your mindset needs to be where you lead from your heart. You don't lead from your head. So if you can get out of your head about what do I look like? What do I sound like? Oh my God, are people going to think that I'm not good enough? That means you're not leading from here to share value, to actually help someone else transform. And you know that what you do, I don't care what it is, it helps somebody level up. Okay, so second C, content, obviously, right? You need to have content that falls into 3 points of engagement. When we are specifically talking about live, I want you to always think about the algorithm that is going to be your best friend if, 1, you engage, 2, that you hit the 15-minute mark when you go live. What happens is, especially on Facebook and on Instagram, all of a sudden that Facebook or Instagram is going to be your marketing person. It's going to be It's going to be that arm that is going to help push out your information to like-minded people who have spent a few minutes on that live. So if you have a couple of people that have spent like 3, 4, 5 minutes on the live with you, they're going to go look for more people just like those people. And that's what happens when you hit the 15-minute mark. Now, what kind of content though? Well, one, remember when we talked about leading from your heart? You know the value that you bring people. The easiest thing that you can do is start to list out so you can develop content that falls into answering the questions. Who are you? So who are you? What do you do? Who do you serve? And how do you serve them? Who are you? Who are you? What do you do? Who do you serve? And how do you serve them? When you ask yourself, who are you? I'm a mother. I'm a wife. I'm a community leader. I'm on several different boards. I love fashion. I am a culinary fanatic. Like when you start to get really deep into who you are as a human, including your values, your hobbies, like what you do every day, what you're learning, it's endless. And when you go in specifically for one topic, it can answer the next 3 questions very specifically to that one topic from asking yourself, who are you? Okay, that is the best way to get content to fall into the 3 points of engagement. 1, evoke emotion. If you can help somebody feel something, happy, inquisitive, curious, get them to because you're advocating for something, you get them passionate, inspired, motivated, you're evoking emotion. The easiest way to do that is quotes. Second, so live, let's go back to live, recite a quote that moves you and tell them why, and then tell them your intention that you hope how they're receiving this quote and what you hope that they can do for it. That is 15 minutes. That is evoking emotion. That is getting them connected to you, to relate to you. Okay. The second one is education, tips and steps, period, the end. Elevate them, get them to the next step, get them to learn a skill, but keep it very simple. Keep it very simple. Okay. Third one, solve a problem. I want you to realize, like right now, that you are the solution to a tribe's problem. They are going to bed at night stressed about something that you can solve. I want you to get super specific on that. Okay. So when you go into lives and you talk about one problem that you solve, right? And one way that you solve it, you allow people to take that transformational journey with you. And they can relate, they can put themselves in there and go, I need that. She gets me. She'll be able to help me. Or they formulate questions to ask you. That is the second C. Third C, community. You cannot post and they will come. You cannot go live and think that all of a sudden you are going to have hundreds and hundreds of people watching your live. That would be amazing. That's not going to happen. It's going to happen over time if you, again, are engaging. Push those algorithms to be your friend. You have complete control. When it says the algorithm is going to bless you when you have more engagement, it doesn't mean you sit and wait for the engagement to happen to you. It means go engage. The same type of love is going to be given to you by the algorithm if you go on other people's accounts and you love and comment 4 words or more and share their information into your account, share it into stories. Every engagement, everything that exists on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn is there for a purpose. When you use it often, they bless you. The algorithm blesses you. That's engagement. They want you using the apps. They want you also they want you connecting to other people. Don't wait for it to happen to you. Go make it happen. So there's a few things I want to share with you when it comes to community and how you build it. 1, prospect. You're a business. You want new clients all the time. That is how you're going to elevate your business. You're going to make more sales, right? How do you do that? Well, you've got to research who is out there on social media. The easiest way to do that, I'm going to tell you one tip, is who is the influencer in your industry? For me, it's Jasmine Star. It's Gary Vaynerchuk. It's Robin Sharma. It's Brandon Burchard. So what you can do is you go to one of those and you look at everyone who's commenting. When somebody asks a question that you can solve, guess who's going to have a better opportunity to connect personally? Do you think that Gary Vaynerchuk is going to connect personally with them? Or do you think that they have a better chance of connecting with you personally, who can solve the problem? You. Are you going to go and tell them, buy my stuff? No. You're going to write them down as 30-30 method. You're going to make a list of 30 people that you've seen that, ooh, they're your core client, they're your ideal client. And you're going to engage on their account every single day. If they post, you're going to like, and you're going to comment 4 words or more. You're going to go and check out to see if they have a story. And once a week for 30 days, you are going to slide into their DM and you're going to say something authentic and genuine about something that's happening in their life, because you spent a little time finding out who they are. You are not asking for anything. You are building relationships. That is prospecting, because they're going to go, who is this nice person who keeps liking my stuff and commenting on my stuff and is interested in my life? That's amazing. They go over, it doesn't take very long. They go over, they check out who you are. And if you are putting fresh content, you've got to be the 4th C, consistent. If you are putting fresh content, they start to build trust. If you are giving value because you're doing one of the 3 points of engagement, they're like, wow, they're interesting. I need what they are providing. Then they slide into your DM because they're super comfortable because you've done it first, and they ask questions. I know I'm talking really fast because I want to give it all to you, you guys. I want to give it all to you. So that's one way of building community. Second, okay, is nurturing. What does nurturing mean? It means like loving on people who love you, right? You're nurturing the relationship. This happens when you post and whoever likes and comments or views your story, you are going to go over to their account. And what are you going to do? You're going to like their freshest post. You're going to comment 4 words or more, and you're going to go check out their story. Why? Those are warm leads right there, my friends. Those are warm leads that you are going to nurture and be grateful for. That is called the gratitude spree. 30-30 method, prospecting. Gratitude spree, nurturing. How? And the third way is be seen every day. How can you make that happen? Really simple. This is something I need you to do right before you go live, okay? You need to activate your account, and you need to activate the people that are out there on Instagram at that moment, that follow you, that you follow, and a few of the people that follow who you follow. How are you going to do that? When you get on Instagram or when you get on Facebook, it immediately is going to take you to the feed. Those are people that you follow, who follow you, or who follow who you follow. Okay, I don't have a lot of time to explain that right now, and I wish I did because it's super powerful. But all you need to do is you're going to love on every single person that is on that feed to not only activate them back, but activate your account. Then you are going to go live for 15 minutes. Why? Because it activates all these people that were just on or on, and it alerts them that you are going live. Since they were there or are still there, it's easier for them to go check out what you have to say. And the fact that they're like, oh, they just liked my stuff and now they're live. I wonder what's up. Curious, right? Human nature. Those are 3 ways that you can build community, activate your algorithms to love you, right? Be your best friend. And you start to build up your following, and you start to build it up with a curated community. Remember I told you about consistency? I want you to be consistent. If you are not showing up in a consistent manner, it's basically you're telling people you can't trust that I'm going to come back. I'm just going to leave it there. 5th one, commitment. I want you to be committed to yourself, that you matter, that you have value, that you are enough, that you have something people need. So stop being selfish and holding back because you're too worried about what people think. Okay? And I want you to commit to the people that follow you and that you want to nurture relationships with the people that you're about to prospect. They deserve to trust that you're going to come back. They deserve to know that you can be a resource for them. That's building a brand. And when you want to do it and you want to go live, pick a day, okay? Commit to a day once a week that you are going to go live. Pick a theme of what you're going to do. Could it be quotes that you love? Could it be sharing like one of several methods that you have to solve a certain problem? Come up with something creative, right? And just show up. once a week to do that, where people they can like clockwork know, oh, they're coming up. And if they can't see it at the same time every single Monday or whatever that you decide, they can see the replay. It's still as effective. It still activates your algorithms. And oh my God, it builds your brand. That's what I have for you. I hope I hit the 10-15-minute mark. And I only
incredible,
love questions.
Giselle. So I'm over here trying to write some notes, trying to listen, so we are 3 minutes from our 20 minutes. So you actually ended a little early, but that was incredible. I see the notes in the comments that this is good, that this is awesome. So people are catching it, even though you were giving it really, really quickly. I think it resonated. People understand. So I'm going to ask the first question because I see a question coming up. So any questions that you all have, please make sure that you put them in the chat. We're going to be asking them live on camera to make sure that we get your answers. And know that if you ask a question afterwards or think of something afterwards, feel free to email us and we'll get the answers to you when we send the replay. But I actually am really, really sticking to the consistency. And I know that, you gave the 5 C's, but I tried going live every day in February for Black History Month. And just as a tip for people, I did it on my personal page just because I was afraid. Like you said, you've got that fear, you've got that, is anybody going to pay attention or watch? And it was definitely a challenge and interesting. But that 15 minutes, unless you have a plan or a strategy, can be really challenging. You don't realize how long 15 minutes is when you're trying to talk and you don't know who's going to show up or other people don't show up. What do you suggest as far as how to get started when you don't have that, consistency yet, you haven't done it yet, and you got that fear, is anyone going to show up? And you're
absolutely. I love this question, Aisha, because you have to be prepared. If you are prepared, you are not overwhelmed. You don't have fear because you're coming on to deliver on great information. Aisha, you said something that was really important. Is anybody going to show up? Maybe they don't show up today, but it's a gift that keeps on giving. Replay lasts forever.
Yes.
Okay. So when you become the brand because other people say so, they go and research you. They devour everything you've ever done because they love you and they're now in it with you, right? That material is going to be good then, today, tomorrow, forever, because it's value that is going to help people elevate. So I want everybody to get out of their head about, is anybody going to show up? No, at the beginning, no, they're not. They're not going to show up unless you're doing the community part. Aisha, are you doing the community part?
Now I am, and you're absolutely right. After the second day, I had people saying, and they do look, because they said, what time are you going to go on? And I had set a time and I didn't stick to it. And I get text messages and I was like, oh, people really are looking for you at that time. So I did afterwards. I definitely saw that.
So I want you to know that I'm going to give you, if you could write this down. Okay. This is an easy template to use to go live. I want you to write down that I want you to pick one topic. So pick out the topic. You're going to pick out the topic, and because you know your stuff. So like if you told me the topic is going to be going live, I'd be like, okay, going live. What are the best strategies? So then I would pick 3 things that I want to leave people with on going live, right? I would go, okay, what could they implement? So I always want to think in a manner of like, what could they do right now? Because I want to give them value and I want them to see the difference because they implemented what I just told them, right? So I would strategize on that, write that down. So I write down topic, the content within the middle of what we're going to talk about, bullet points. You don't write word for word, you know your stuff, right?
You're right. Yes.
Then you go back to and after your topic, you're going to write a summary of what you're going to talk about. You always want the hook to be, do you feel overwhelmed when you're about to go live because you think you're going to look stupid? Like
whatever that problem is, right? Whatever that, yeah.
That's the hook. And then you go, don't worry. I have 3 tips for you where you're going to look prepared. You're going to look like the expert that you are. And I am going to make sure that happens. Then I give you the 3 tips, and then you have the conclusion. The conclusion is summarizing. So I just shared with you, bum, 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 bum. I want you to Implement that immediately. Go ahead and tag me so that I can cheer you on. And if you need more information, then you do the call to action.
That is so phenomenal. And it eases the pressure, like you said. I was going live for Black History Month, so I was sharing different people that contributed to my Black history. And you're right, once I had those bullets, I tried one day to write out everything I would say, but you find yourself trying to read and then it feels real weird. So I'm going to go to some of these questions in the chat because they're coming through. Somebody wants to know, which app do you use to reshare someone else's Instagram post?
Absolutely. It's the best one. I've used them all, trust. It's called Repost. It's like a little purple, you can't see it, but it's a white little square with a purple little arrow with the arrow going in like a little square. It's the best and easiest thing to use to repost somebody else's post into your grid. Now, if you want to post, which I think people should do every day, you should highlight somebody that you just want to highlight, a small business, or you want to highlight somebody in your industry, a colleague, somebody doing the same thing you're doing and saying they're kicking butt on this, right? You use the paper airplane icon underneath someone's post and share it into your story. The only time it's not going to be available is when that person is private.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I've used that now much more frequently. So that was your answer, Carla. And she said you didn't even take a sip of water. Amazing, Giselle. You're rocking.
But it was more important that I get it all out. I was like, oh my God.
So we got another question about, does the algorithm work the same even after taking a hiatus? So if you're taking a break, or
you are going to have to, like, so if you ignored your husband for a week and then you were like, okay, hi honey, he would be like, what? He'd be like, what do you want? That's the algorithm. The algorithm is like, what's up with you? Like, now you're back, right? So you got to love on it a little bit. You got to do some engaging, you got to do some work, and then it kicks back in, but it takes a little while. So I'll give you a quick story just because it's really relevant. Somebody like me, who I will post every day, like rain, shine, tragedy, it doesn't matter. It's really hard that I don't post every single day. But I went through where I was building this whole like launch, and I just got really like, I couldn't do the community part. I still did the posting, but I didn't do the community building. Oh, the algorithm slapped my hand silly. Mm-hmm.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. And so any questions that you all have, add them to the chat. We've got about 6 minutes left. I've got another question. So I have, like I mentioned, 2 accounts. I have a personal account and a business account. How important is that you do these things with both, or how do you manage those?
Everybody in my industry has a very different answer. This is my answer. You can't manage 2 if you can barely manage 1. So people build trust with a human, not with a logo. So if you can combine it in there's a way to audit your Instagram for people to understand what you do, but know that they're doing it with a human, right? So when we are building a brand, you are not a brand until somebody else says so. Okay? So you've got to work your buns off to be something that other people are talking about. People aren't going to give you the time of day with a logo on your profile, with the logo, with the name of your business, where it doesn't really like to attract someone.
The same. Yeah.
Well, because we can't relate to a logo. We see this great information and we're like, okay, cool. We use it we see it like a window dressing. But when I see your beautiful face or your beautiful smile or you're giving me information, I'm like, oh, Aisha's talking to me and she's the expert in. So it's very different. And remember, we are not a brand until other people say so.
Yeah, I get that. That makes perfect sense. And I said that just because I know a couple of people that are here have been struggling with the personal versus the business when you're trying to build. And so that is great advice.
Just sprinkle in something like if you're like, but I worked so hard on my logo and and that's beautiful. And I get that, but I just want you to know nobody cares. Mm-hmm. You care. It's personal. Yeah. I get it. I have a whole Bold Institute that I don't even touch. I paid a lot of money. I worked really hard, but I ask every day, like I have focus groups. I know what people want. And right now we are desperate for connection. Yes. We want this. We want to feel heard, seen, understood. A logo doesn't do that.
Absolutely. And you're right, especially now. And people want to build trust and they want to be able to build community. And so
sprinkle it in.
Great point.
Every 9 posts, put your beautiful logo out there and say, you know, something awesome, like a tip or whatever, you know, put it out there, make it part of what you post as a pillar. But if it's the first thing people like, they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop and engage. It's going to be hard.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. So I know, so this is probably sparking a lot. People are trying to keep notes. Don't worry. We are sending the replay. So you'll be able to slow it down and replay it to get all of those tips that you need. So you said something that was almost like a tongue twister. I kind of wrote it down, but I don't think I captured it right. That, you know, when you're going to activate and you're going on to social media, it shows you in your feed the people you follow, the people who follow you, who you follow, and the people they follow. Was that?
Yeah. Yeah. So it shows you who you follow, who follows you, and who follows who you follow. So this is the beautiful thing. You know, you're always wondering, I'm sure, how do I get to people who I don't know? How do I get to people like that are like-minded? Well, when you are following people and they like your post, the most active 3 to 4% of their followers will see your post.
Okay.
That's why consistency is key. That is why it doesn't have to be them just liking your post. It's also you liking their post.
Got it.
So it gets your post, your fresh post, into that feed that gets new eyeballs, like-minded eyeballs.
Yeah. And I wanted to make sure I captured that because I always see, you know, those things that come up in my feed and I don't always pay attention because I'm always looking at kind of what's going on and scrolling. But that's a really good point to be able to engage with some of those people in different ways. All right. So I think this may be the last. Is this a question or a note? When you're going to activate and going, so, oh, that was just a reminder to let people know when you're going to activate and going on social media, the algorithm will show you who you follow, who follows you, and who follows who you follow.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. So we are at our 2-minute out mark. Giselle, is there anything that you would like to share with us just as far as things that you may have as resources for people or?
Absolutely. I love giving away everything. So if you go to the Bold Institute, like Instagram, not in, I spell it wrong on purpose, theboldinstitute.com, you will have access to a ton of freebies that I have there. The other thing is be on the lookout. I'm going to be launching a 12-month, it's like a membership program. It's about getting together every week to build the skill and habit, learn how to content batch at the same time that once a month we dive in real deep to a facet and how to use that facet to show your brand in the most powerful way. So Vicky, the Bold Institute. That's wrong. That link is wrong. Just FYI.
It's this one.
That one.
There we go. There we go.
Thank you.
I know it's Institute. I've got that ingrained in my brain now, like Instagram. Got it. So we'll go to theboldinstitute.com so that we can get that and being on the lookout for that.
Be on the lookout. No worries, Vicky. Be on the lookout. Yeah, I'm super excited about it. It's been a long time coming. Just really analyzing what people need. And people need to learn how to build the habits and the skills of all the 8 facets on Instagram. There's 8 facets. They're so powerful.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I am very amazed that we got all of this in 20 minutes plus our 10-minute bonus Q&A. Thank you everyone for joining us. We appreciate it. Have a wonderful rest of your day and be well.